Look, I want you to picture something with me for a second. It's the 28th of the month, you've got 3 days until payday. You open your bank account and there's $47 sitting there. You need gas to get to work, you need groceries, and somewhere in the back of your mind you're thinking about that credit card bill that's due in 5 days. Now here's the really messed up part. You make $55,000 a year. On paper, you should be fine, but instead, you're counting down the hours until that direct deposit hits like it's oxygen. If that feeling just punched you in the gut, you're not alone. A 2023 study from the Federal Reserve found that 63% of Americans making between $50,000 and $75,000 a year couldn't cover a $1,000 emergency without going into debt. Think about that. These aren't minimum wage workers. These are people with decent jobs, living what should be comfortable middle-class lives, and they're one broken transmission away from financial catastrophe. My name is Oric, and I spend way too much time thinking about why smart people with good incomes stay broke. If you're someone who makes decent money but still feels like you're drowning, or if you've ever wondered why your paycheck disappears before you even get a chance to think about saving it, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Here's the thing that nobody wants to talk about. Breaking the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle isn't actually about making more money. I know that sounds crazy, but stick with me. I've seen people making $40,000 escape this cycle, and I've seen people making $120,000 stuck in it. The difference isn't the income, it's the system. Most financial advice tells you to just save more or cut back on your lattes. And look, I'm not saying spending $6 on coffee every day is a brilliant financial move, but if you think that's the real problem, you're missing the point entirely. Let's do some math here. Even if you bought a $6 coffee every single day for a year, that's $2,190. That's real money, sure, but if you're living paycheck to paycheck on a $55,000 salary, cutting out coffee isn't going to fix the actual problem. The real problem is that you're trapped in what I call the timing trap. Your bills don't care about your cash flow. Your rent is due on the 1st, your car payment is due on the 15th, your credit cards are scattered throughout the month. Meanwhile, you get paid every 2 weeks, and those paychecks never seem to line up with when the money actually needs to go out. So what happens? You cover what you can, you put the rest on credit cards or overdraft, and then when your next paycheck comes in, half of it immediately goes to catching up from last month. You're running on a treadmill that's tilted backwards. Now you might be thinking, okay, Warwick, but I've tried budgeting. I've downloaded the apps. It doesn't work. And I believe you. Because here's what most people don't realize. Traditional budgeting is designed for people who already have money. It's designed for someone with $5,000 sitting in their checking account and needs to figure out how to allocate it. But when you're living paycheck to paycheck, you don't have $5,000 to allocate. You have $1,800 coming in on Friday, $1,650 going out by Monday, and you're trying to figure out how to make $150 last for 2 weeks. The psychology of money is weird. When you're broke, every single spending decision feels like a test of your willpower. Should I get the cheaper, worse groceries? Should I skip going out with friends again? Should I cancel that $12 streaming subscription? It's exhausting. And here's the thing, that exhaustion is actually costing you money. A study from Princeton showed that financial stress reduces cognitive function by the equivalent of 13 IQ points. You're literally too stressed about money to make good decisions about money. It's like trying to solve a maze while someone's screaming in your ear. So let me give you the actual framework that works. This is a 6-month plan, and I'm not going to lie to you. The first 2 months are going to be uncomfortable, but it's a different kind of uncomfortable than what you're dealing with now. Right now, you're uncomfortable forever with no end in sight. This is uncomfortable with a finish line. Month 1 is about brutal honesty, and I mean brutal. You need to track every single dollar for 30 days. Not estimate, not guess, actually track it. Because here's what happens. You think you know where your money goes, but you don't. When my friend Sarah did this, she discovered she was spending $340 a month on food delivery. She would have told you it was maybe $100. That's a $240 gap between perception and reality. That gap is why you're stuck. Here's how you do this without losing your mind. Get a small notebook. Every time you spend money, and I mean every single time, write it down immediately. Not later, not at the end of the day, immediately. The coffee, the parking, the random Amazon purchase at 11 p.m., everything. At the end of the month, you're going to categorize it. You'll have categories like housing, transportation, food, subscriptions, debt payments, and then the big one, what the hell was this? Month 2 is where it gets interesting. You're going to build what I call a timing budget. This isn't about how much you spend, it's about when you spend it. Take a piece of paper and write down every single fixed bill you have, the amount and the due date. Now look at your paycheck schedule. Here's the key insight. You need to make your money work on the same schedule your bills work. Let's say you get paid $2,000 on the 1st and $2,000 on the 15th. And let's say your rent is $1,200 on the 1st, car payment is $350 on the 10th, insurance is $180 on the 20th, and credit card minimums total $220 scattered throughout the month. The old you would get that first paycheck, pay rent, pay the car, and feel okay. Then the second paycheck comes in, and you're trying to cover insurance, credit cards, groceries, gas, and everything else. You're already short before you even start. The new system works like this. That first $2,000 paycheck, $1,200 goes to rent immediately. The other $800 gets divided. Half goes into a separate account I call the bill account. That's for the insurance and half the credit card payments. The other $400 is for groceries and gas for 2 weeks. That's it. No flexibility, no wiggle room. When that second $2,000 paycheck hits, $350 goes to the car payment, another $400 goes to the bill account for the rest of the credit cards, $400 for the next 2 weeks of groceries and gas, and now, and this is the key, you have $850 left over. This is the first real money you've had in years. Not money that's already spent, not money that's covering last month's shortage, real money. And here's what you're going to do with it that's going to feel completely wrong at first. You're going to stick it in a savings account and not touch it. I can already hear you. Oric, I have credit card debt at 24% interest. Why would I put money in a savings account earning 4%? Because you need to break the cycle first. You've been broke for so long that you've forgotten what it feels like to have options. That money sitting there, even though it's not much, changes your psychology. It means the next time something comes up, and something always comes up, you don't have to choose between putting it on a credit card or just not handling it. Month 3, you do the exact same thing. Same timing budget, same strict separation, and if you can manage it, that second $850 goes into savings too. Now you have $1,700. That's not an emergency fund yet, but it's the beginning of one. Month 4 is where people usually screw this up because you're going to feel better. You're going to have almost $2,000 in savings. Your checking account isn't hitting zero between paychecks, and your brain is going to tell you that you deserve something, a nice dinner, new shoes, whatever. And look, I'm not saying you can't ever have nice things, but if you break now, you reset the whole cycle. This is the moment that separates people who escape from people who stay stuck. Here's what you do instead. Month 4, you take that $850 and you make an extra payment on your highest interest debt, not the minimum, an actual payment. If you've got a credit card at 24%, throw the whole $850 at it. Here's the math on why this matters. Let's say you have $5,000 on that card, and you're paying the minimum of $125 a month. At 24% interest, it'll take you 7 years to pay off and cost you $5,500 in interest. If you throw an extra $850 at it right now, you just cut that down to 3 years and $1,800 in interest. You just saved yourself $3,700 in 4 years of your life with one payment. Month 5 and 6, you're building momentum. Keep the timing budget, keep the bill account, and keep putting money into savings until you hit at least 1 month of bare bones expenses. For most people, that's around $2,500 to $3,500. Once you hit that number, you've got something most Americans don't have: breathing room. Now here's the part that nobody tells you. Once you break the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle, money gets weird in a good way. That timing budget that felt restrictive at first, it becomes automatic. You stop thinking about money every single day because you know the system is handling it. The mental energy you were spending on financial stress gets redirected to actually building wealth. And this is where people who escape this cycle start to pull away from people who don't, because now when you get that $850 twice a month, you can actually make strategic decisions. You can invest it, you can pay off debt faster, you can save for an actual goal instead of just trying to survive until Friday. Look, I'm going to be straight with you. This plan requires something most financial advice doesn't want to acknowledge. It requires sacrifice. Real sacrifice. For 6 months, you can't live like you've been living. No spontaneous purchases, no treating yourself, no keeping up with what your friends are doing if your friends have more money than you do. But here's the thing, you're already sacrificing. Right now, you're sacrificing your peace of mind, you're sacrificing your sleep, you're sacrificing your ability to think about anything other than money. This plan just redirects that sacrifice towards something that actually ends. 6 months, that's it. 6 months of being intensely uncomfortable so you can stop being indefinitely uncomfortable. And if you stick to it, if you actually do the timing budget and build that buffer and start attacking the debt, you will